From one new mom to another, how are we going back to work after 12 weeks home with our babies?
Let's put my house back together from Christmas while I talk about maternity leave. If you don't live in the US, first of all, call yourself lucky, but second of all, let's talk about maternity leave in the US. Also, one of my favorite books. So here in the US, we don't have any governing federal maternity leave or paternity leave. It is really all up to employers to do that. And a lot of times you either get none or 6 to 12 weeks. 6 to 12 weeks is not long enough. In this comment, I am talking about how other countries have like 12 to 18 months, and that is like standard for a lot of countries. And here is why that should be normalized. Breastfeeding is recommended for at least 1 year, but recommended up to 2 years. A lot of people have to stop breastfeeding entirely because of maternity leave. 6 weeks is not enough to establish a really, really good breastfeeding schedule, milk supply. And if you have ever breastfed, you know that a pump does not do what a baby can do. So a lot of people lose their milk supplies entirely. And then there's onto bonding. 6 weeks is not enough to bond with your baby. 6 weeks, they are still a little itty bitty tiny thing. And babies don't recognize that they're outside of the womb. They don't recognize that the mom is not a part of them until they are close to 6 months. So the baby doesn't even recognize that you are two separate people. So it is like pulling their heart out of their chest and taking it with you. And I don't know about you, but that is heartbreaking to even think about. All in all, 6 weeks is not enough. If you're even lucky to get 6 weeks. I became a stay-at-home mom, so I became a stay-at-home mom. But if I would have kept working, I would have gotten this many weeks. My sister-in-law, her boss actually texted her when she was a few days postpartum, asking when she was coming back. Daycare is also hella expensive. The reason I became a stay-at-home mom is because daycare is super expensive. Staying at home and still making part of your income because it's paid maternity leave is so much better than sending your kid to a germy daycare, especially if your child is already preemie and is already at a disadvantage. Now let's talk about paternity leave. My husband got zilch, even after working at his company for 10 years and working full-time. Zilch. And I can say that now because he has left that job. With our third baby, he had to take vacation time, and he had to schedule that a month in advance. So we essentially had to guess at when she would be born. With my other two kids, he went to work the day after we got home from the hospital. 2 days. So yes, when I tell you parents would actually love to stay home with their kids, but they can't. So many people wish that they could be in my position where they could stay home with their kids. I am very lucky that I have been able to make social media my career, and I can actually stay home with my babies and have been for the last 7 years. Babies are only young once. Your babies are only babies once. And I know so many of my clients that have given birth, gone through postpartum, and they sob because they have to go back to work. Because leaving your kid is not normal. I don't know why we have normalized no maternity leave, but we have, and it's not normal, and it needs to change. If all of the other countries can do it, why can't we? 12 to 18 months should be standard. Here's also what I got done so far.